It's time for some questions and answers. Let's do this. Hey there, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Chris. I'm teaching photography and creative business. Today we're doing a Q&A. Last week I posted on Instagram asking what you want to know about me and about photography. I got a lot of awesome questions, so we're going to answer some of them here. Let's get started. Do I need a special course to become a paid photographer for food and bev? No. I didn't take any special course. I didn't pay anyone to teach me about food and beverage photography. I learned pretty much everything from YouTube. I looked up videos and then tried to apply those principles to my own work. That's how I learn best. I look up a technique and I try and apply it over and over again until I get it down right. Then I add my own spin to it and add my own creative style. That's how I've always learned. I learn by doing. I don't really see a reason to pay anyone to teach you how to do these things when you can find all this information online for free. YouTube is a huge resource of information, and just by looking up videos on the topics that interest you, you can learn a lot. Do you own a studio space? Not really. Right now I'm shooting most of my product work in my living room. I'm shooting this YouTube stuff in my bedroom. I'm moving to a new place soon, so I'm gonna have a dedicated room that's kind of my studio. It's gonna be where I do all my office work, where I do my product photography shoots, and where I shoot my YouTube videos. But I don't have a separate space here in the city that's a dedicated studio. I just don't see a need for one. I can accomplish all the work I need to just in my own space. I don't have a need for large scale production shoots right now. And even if I did, I would just rent out a studio for a day or a weekend and then do those shoots there. Now, if I was shooting more models, more headshots, maybe I would consider getting a dedicated space. But for product work, I just need a small space that has enough room for my light setups, my backdrops, and a bedroom can easily accomplish that if it's dedicated for photography. My favorite editing apps. This isn't going to surprise anyone. Lightroom. I use Lightroom Classic on my computer. That's what I edit all my photos in. It's great software. It's pretty easy to learn. The learning curve isn't that big. And if you have any questions on it, you can just go on YouTube. It's the most popular editing software on there. So there's hundreds, thousands of tutorials on pretty much anything you have to do. And in addition to Lightroom, I also use Photoshop for some more extensive product work. All of my product work goes from Lightroom and then to Photoshop to do any retouching, getting rid of blemishes, brightening up specific areas, stuff like that. But for most of my landscape work and cityscape work, I only use Lightroom. Thoughts on quality versus quantity for social media. So this is a tough balance to strike. You know, you have to be posting consistently enough to keep your audience's attention, but you also want to be posting content that has value for your audience. You have to put yourself in your audience's shoes and make sure what you're posting actually benefits them somehow. If you're just posting random pictures that don't really teach your audience anything or aren't that entertaining, why are you posting that? Before you post anything, you always have to put yourself in your audience's shoes. Why should you post this? How is your audience going to benefit from this? That's the approach I take to Instagram. I know that's not the approach everyone takes. Some people say you should only post stuff that makes you yourself happy, and that's a fine approach to take, but if you're doing that, I don't really think you're gonna grow as fast as someone that is catering towards their audience's need. Now, you could argue that my approach takes away the artistic element of photography or whatever art medium you're in, but that's kind of what growing at Instagram is about. If you want to actually grow, you have to be posting consistently in a consistent style. If you're all over the place, your audience isn't going to know what to expect from you, and if they don't know what to expect, they're not going to follow you. The way I've had this explained to me in the past was treating every Instagram profile as a magazine subscription was in the past. You know, you're not going to subscribe to a magazine that has content all over the place. People subscribe to magazines for a specific purpose. You're going to subscribe to a cooking magazine for new recipes. You're going to subscribe to a health magazine for new workouts. You have to be a predictable account with the content you're producing in order to grow on Instagram and to gain a big following. I know following isn't everything, so if you don't care about following at all, then just ignore this entire rant. But if you do care about following, post consistently and post stuff that has value for your audience. What has been the hardest experience as a photographer? This has definitely been going full-time with this career. Before this, I was working a 9-to-5, relatively comfortable job, paid me a good salary, but I wasn't that fulfilled in that role, so I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to start my own company, start my own business. And with that, I had to take on a lot of risk. I faced a lot of self-doubt throughout the process. Could I earn enough money? What was I good enough at photography for this? You know, all that kind of stuff. But as time went on, I started to think more and more about it, and I started to know that this was going to be the right decision. And I've heard this preached before. It's sometimes not even about the decision itself. It's about actually making the decision, and then you will make it right. You know, if you decide you want to do something, you just do it and then work as hard as you can towards it and make it right. If your options are you either succeed or you fail, you're going to work to make sure you succeed. And if you put in the time, you put in the energy, you put in the effort, this will pay off. So if you're doubting yourself, know that you're probably good enough and you can do this. How do you put yourself out there to grow your business? For me, that mainly comes down to cold emailing and cold messaging people on Instagram. I have a website. It's built around a niche, and I reach out to people talking about what I do and how I can help them. I try and offer a solution to a problem they might be having in their business, which is lack of good content. And they go on my website, see my stuff, and they'll respond to me if they think that I'm a good fit. You know, that's pretty much the only way I put myself out there. I mean, I do some marketing. That's me posting on LinkedIn about what I do, about previous projects. I post on my business's Instagram account as well with previous projects. But a lot of the business I do is stuff that I reach out to other companies for. You know, no one's going to come to you asking for photos. I don't think I've had like 1 or 2 clients like that, but the majority of my clients came from me reaching out to them. Best budget camera to shoot low light. You know, there's a lot of great cameras out there right now. If you're spending around $600 on a mirrorless camera, you're probably going to get something decent. It's really hard to go wrong. You know, I recommend the Sony a6000 to a lot of beginners. It's gonna be better than your phone. I know Canon makes some good ones. Nikon makes good ones. If you stick around that price point, you're gonna get something good. I do not recommend getting a DSLR nowadays. Those cameras are just outdated. There's no more new technology coming for them. I know some communities still like to recommend those cameras. I know in the food blogger space, a lot of people recommend DSLRs, but I strongly disagree with that viewpoint. I think they're outdated cameras, and any new lenses that are coming out aren't coming out for those. They're gonna stop getting software updates, so it's time to fully switch to mirrorless. What's your favorite weather to shoot in? I'm pretty basic when it comes to this. I like sunny days with a few clouds in the sky. I mean, the warmer it is, the better. I don't really like being cold outside. I don't really like getting wet in the rain. Those are awesome conditions to shoot in because you can get some awesome photos. But my favorite, I mean, just like a nice sunny day. All right, so that's all I'm gonna answer today. Thanks for submitting your questions on Instagram. If you don't follow me on there, check out the link in the bio, at Chris Pieta on there. I'm gonna do these occasionally and answer some on Instagram, maybe go on Instagram Live and talk more about this kind of stuff in the future. So please check me out on there if you're not following me already. I want to say thank you if you've watched this far in the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I want to say hi to all my new subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one.